So by now, you know that when we reference other people's findings in our own writing, we have to cite our sources. But how exactly do we do that? Do we use the author's last name? Do we use a page number? Do we just use a reference number or a footnote? All of that is called a citation style. It's the style in which a journal wants you to cite sources, both in the text and in a reference section. Whether you tend to identify a target journal before you start writing, or adapt a drafted paper to a specific journal's requirements later, it's critical to know what the editor requires for length, formatting, and citation style. In this video, I'll show you how to find this information on a journal's homepage. Let's get started. So here I have open my Mendeley library, and I've sorted the group library, the MBM lab group, by source. And I did this for a couple of reasons. For one, I wanted to get a sense of what are some of the common journals that we are reading from. Here I can see that biomacromolecules is a really common one. And another really common one is, let's see, when I sort the other way around, wound repair and regeneration. So we're going to use those two journals for examples today. So let's start with biomacromolecules. So here I am on the journal's homepage. Few people actually spend time poking around on a journal website. Usually they're just going straight to a specific article. But I encourage you to poke around the homepages of the journals that you frequently cite from, because often these journals have suggestions of what to read next based on something you've read there recently. But in general, when you go to a journal's homepage, here's what you're looking for: author's guidelines or contributor guidelines. That's where they're going to give the authors a sense of what they expect from the manuscripts that you submit. So here I can see there's a little pane for authors, and if I click on it, it's going to give me this lengthy overview, and I'm looking specifically for this right here, author guidelines. Let's click on that, because remember, what we are trying to find is what do they want to see in a manuscript that's ready to publish. So these guidelines should essentially be the text that you go through and actually read prior to submitting a manuscript. But when it comes to identifying the citation style, here's a tip. I'm going to hit Control F and find on this page, I'm going to look for style. And notice it has 10 hits, which is a lot, but let's look through them. So first it tells us that references should adhere to the format and style of biomacromolecules. Well, that doesn't help me very much because that's just the name of this journal. So I'm going to go next. Here we go, look. References can be provided in any style, but they must be complete, including titles. For information about the required components of different reference type, please refer to the ACS Style Quick Guide. So that tells me that they're not that strict about what style I choose to cite my references in, as long as I'm consistent. But if I use the ACS Style Quick Guide, I'm probably going to have a lot more success. So for submitting a paper to this journal, I would probably use the ACS Style Guide. Let's look at a different example. If I go to the home page for wound repair and regeneration, I'm going to go to Contribute, and when I click that drop down, I'm going to click on Author Guidelines. You can expect to see something similar, sort of a long list of things to consider. So let's see, if I scroll to references, it tells me a little bit about how they want me to reference things that have a lot of authors. And let's see if I can find a style guide that they prefer. So it looks like they want references cited only in tables or figures should be numbered last. Use the style of the following examples, which are based on slight modification on the format set and uniform requirements for manuscripts submitted to biomedical journals. So they're asking for requirements used by NIH. So if I click on that, here it's going to show me the style guides here. So this is a complete style guide, almost like its own ACS or APA or MLA if you're used to that. So that's how you identify the style guide used in the journal that you're thinking of submitting to.